Hey everybody, it's Queen Jelly and welcome back to the Toy Box. Today we're going to be doing our anniversary celebration for Monster High G3. Last year we ranked all of the dolls that were out at the time, which obviously is a lot more now. So instead we're just going to be ranking the core dolls for this generation. A few things to note before we get started. One, I've had this list written for a while, but it was actually written before Spectra was released, so I am going to have to look and figure out where I want to put her on the list. And of course I may change my mind as I'm going through that. My opinions on my dolls can change from day to day. This list will not include any of the core refresh dolls because the only one I have is Frankie, and I don't think that's really fair to only rank Frankie and not the others. I also do not have the His Fits 3-pack, which people are considering to be the core dolls for Melody and Persephone. So those are the things I don't have. And then my last thing before I get them out of the way and we get started is that this is an opinion video. These are my opinions and in no way are meant to invalidate or change your opinions. If you like different dolls or would have put them in different orders, I would love to know what your order is in the comments down below. But of course, like I said, this is my opinion and not meant as anything negative towards anyone. If you do like different dolls, that's amazing, and that's why I love that there's such a variety of dolls, not only within G3 but just in the market in general, because everybody likes different things, and the fact that everyone can find something that they like is what I love about the doll community. Anyway, I'm gonna get these moved over. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe while I'm taking care of that, and I will see you in just a minute. So I have them all moved off. We're gonna go from least favorite to most favorite, putting them up here. Another thing I want to add though, as we're getting started, is that some of these dolls I have a different connection to, and that is going to affect the ranking. It's not just purely, on looks. There is obviously some extent of, personal bias in there for either character traits or just what that specific doll itself and not necessarily the character means to me. I think you can kind of get a peek down there of some of the dolls, but they're all sitting down here. We are going to start with my least favorite, which, if you guys have been watching the channel, this doll has not moved from this position the entire time that I've been collecting Generation 3. That is Toralei Stripe. And I just realized the other day, one of the reasons why I put her so low every time is not just because there are things about her that I don't like, it's because she should be higher. There's a lot of things that I should like about this doll, but she just doesn't speak to me the way that she should, and I do find some just inherent flaws in her design. And because I should like her but I don't, I feel like I judge her a lot harsher than something else that I might not like as much, but it still does what it's supposed to. She did just fall off the stand. But a couple of things that like my design flaws that I have inherently that I don't like is that they gave her this crossbody backpack that she can't get on. It doesn't go over her feet. It doesn't go over her head because of her tail. Like, that's why it doesn't go over her head, and then like just the shape and everything's too big, so she literally cannot wear her crossbody backpack. The only way to put it on her is over like one shoulder, and it does not stay very well. Like, it just... So that is an inherent design flaw. Another one is I like to keep them holding their phones, but her phone for some reason is just super loose in her hand. I don't know why the ring is so much bigger than it is on the other ones, even though her hands are literally the same size as Claudine's. They're literally the same sculpt. So there, see, it just flew off too. But yeah, obviously she does have her, her perks. Like I said, I like that she's a cat girl. I like that her tail is attached and you don't have to worry about it. They did a correct job in making sure that there is a hole for her tail, which they did in one of her skirts in her Neon Fright doll and not for the other one. I don't know. It's like they forget who they're designing for sometimes with Toralei. I like the color combo for her hair, although I'm not a super fan of orange, so maybe that's also part of what's dragging her down. But yeah, I mean, of course, overall, am I happy that she's in my collection? Yes, I love all of the dolls in my collection. I love all of G3, but again, there has to be a least favorite in order for there to be a most favorite. Not a super fan of boy dolls. I don't hate them. I don't have anything against them. Obviously, I collect them as well, in especially Generation 3 Monster High. But they're not as much to say about them, and they don't really connect to me as much as the girl dolls. So we're going to have the boy dolls coming up next. I mean, that's just inherent. But I'll show you the 3 that I have. I do, again, like I said, have the full set of them. I have Heath here. He is the next one down. The reason that he is next is just because his core doll was a budget doll, so he didn't really come with a lot. So it just makes him a little bit not as, you know, not as high for me on the collection, just because he didn't have as many things. Now, obviously, I don't care that much for all the little accessories. They're just sitting over in the Draculaura Gorganizer, and I don't really play with them that much. But I do like having the consistency of them all having, you know, a backpack, a phone, you know, that kind of thing. And he doesn't have those things. He has a beach bag and a drink instead. And so just because he doesn't like fit as smoothly into my collection as the other ones do, that's why he's the next down. He is 14, sorry, going down. All right, number 13 on my list, lucky number 13, is going to be Claude. Again, nothing inherently wrong with him, just not one of my favorite dolls. I do like, you know, the Letterman jacket and the jeans with the rips in them. I think that's really clever. His pet's super cute. I like the sculpting on his face. Again, not really anything against him, just not a lot to say about him. Now for 12 is going to be Deuce. Same kind of story as Claude here, except I do have 2 things to say. One, he just goes a little bit higher than Claude because he is the first boy doll that I've gotten. He was an Amazon exclusive. I know that other countries have gotten him in stores recently, I think, actually. Him and Toralei showed up a little bit later in other countries because both of them were store exclusive. So she was Walmart exclusive, he was Amazon, and then Ghoulia was Target exclusive. But anyway, he goes a little bit higher because of that being the first boy doll that I had. There are, I actually have the misprinted one. So the very first wave of them, if you can see his phone, it actually is printed with Laguna's screen on there instead of his. I haven't gotten another one, so I don't know if that was updated, but from my understanding it was. But I don't have anything to like compare it to. But in my opinion, having or not having a phone screen wasn't enough of a variant to order another one. The one gripe that I have about Deuce, and that I have about every Deuce that's been created so far for G3, is that part of his character is that he wears glasses all the time to cover his eyes because he's a Gorgon, and otherwise he'd turn people to stone, right? So they give him glasses, but then they don't make it so that the glasses actually fit under his snakes, or design them specially to fit over their snakes. So what they need to do is just carve out a little bit of the sculpt underneath this hangover, and then the sunglasses will fit just fine. But otherwise, I love this. I love the hairstyle. I really like his green skin. I think his outfit is cute. Like, again, not something super spectacular, but nothing to complain about. The crossbody bag's cute, and of course Perseus is adorable with his 2 little tails. On to 11 is Claudine for me. I really do like a lot of other Claudines that came out after her, like the Monster Ball Claudine or the Creepover Claudines. I really like their faces and I really connected with them, but there's just something about the Chlor Claudine specifically that I don't connect to. I do absolutely adore that she comes with glasses. I wish we had glasses on more of our Claudines than we have, but right now it's only a couple of them that have come with the glasses. I know a lot of people didn't like them because it makes her a nerd, but that's really just a stereotype. Like, you don't have to be a nerd to wear glasses. Like, as you know, most of the time I usually wear glasses too, but I don't know, I really like her. I like the purple. I think she's super cute. Her hair is really long. Unfortunately, it's not super great quality, but the color variation really doesn't bother me. I know it's not a lot of people's favorites, but it's really just mostly in her face up. It just really didn't connect to me as well as some of the future Claudines will. All right, now for number 10, that is going to be Cleo Denial. Cleo actually has a very special place in my heart. So it was funny if I was rewatching some of my older videos and I was actually watching the Cleo video, and it's funny because in that one I was talking about how I wasn't planning on being a completionist for Generation 3, and now here we are where I own everything that came out in 2022, everything that came out in 2023, and some of 2024, and just waiting for sales to finish it. So like, I have now clearly become a completionist. I just think it's funny, but she was actually part of leading into my becoming a completionist, because originally I was only going to be getting a couple of the core dolls, but when I saw Cleo in store, there was something I just really connected with, specifically in the additional details of the wrapping, like here on her leg and on her arm. Just like those little tiny extra details that took it another mile really just made me fall in love with like G3 as a whole and wanted to complete the collection. Originally, I was only going to be getting Frankie, Draculaura, and Laguna, but then I decided to, when I saw her, I decided to get Cleo as well. And at that point, the only one I was missing from the basic course was Claudine, so I also got Claudine because like I didn't want to have everyone except for one, and then that led to me getting the exclusive one, and then the rest is history. So this is currently my favorite collection, even if it doesn't do the best on my channel. I don't care. Generation 3 stuff is my favorite doll collection, if you asked me. They're my favorite doll brand, so Monster High in general, but I am a big G3 stan. I know a lot of people aren't, and that's fine, but I didn't grow up on the first generation of Monster High. I just started working around the time that those came out, so I don't really have the nostalgia for them, so that could be a factor in it, but I love both generations, but G3 is really like my favorite. So anyway, back to Cleo herself. I think her hair is stunning. I love the different shades of blue in it. Again, when I think it's just, you know, it looks like a river, which is really pretty, and of course, you know, fits with her name. Denial, and out the wrappings, I love those. I think overall she's just a really great package, and she's really pretty. She's just, you know, not my most favorite, but she's down here not because I don't like her, but just because there's more above her that I like a little bit more. I like Egyptian aesthetic. I have nothing against it. It's just not my favorite aesthetic, and I think that's part of why she's a little bit lower. For number 9, we have Ghoulia. I feel like I'm one of the, kind of on that conversation I was having while talking about Cleo, I feel like I'm one of the few people that is not a Ghoulia hater, but again, I don't have that nostalgia for Generation 1, where I know she looked a lot different. I really like this design. I think it's really cute. I don't mind the color of her skin. I like her pet. I love that they wear matching glasses. I think that's great. I love this t-shirt. It's super cute. This jacket is adorable. The backpack, like, I know some people are like, I get it, she has brains, but like everybody else has the same motif all over their bodies, but yet we only complain about it with Ghoulia. I don't know. There's just a lot of hate against this doll that I don't think she deserves. From my understanding, they said that they're not going to continue making Ghoulias in Generation 3, which is really sad to me. But, like, I get it because so many people are so mean to this doll. However, I think that instead of not making them at all, they could just give her a core refresh like they gave to the other ones and kind of redo her. Again, I can't speak for everyone, but from what I've seen, I don't think people really have issue with the base doll itself. I think it's just the way that they stylize her. And so I think if they just gave her a restyle for, like, the core refresh and then made her wear her only 2 dolls have both been Target exclusives. Like, if you gave her a little bit more of a wider release, she might do a little bit better. But that's just me. But I personally really like Ghoulia. So there she is at my number 9 spot. For my number 8 spot, we're going to have Laguna. I like Pink Laguna. Again, I don't have that same nostalgia, but Laguna in the first generation I consider to be my favorite of the basic dolls, or the core dolls for Generation 1. So I do really like Laguna. Creature from the Black Lagoon is my favorite monster, which is part of why I connect a lot to Laguna. Except I feel like this Laguna is set more on like, you know, it's more of a piranha rather than the creature. Like, it's a different type of sea monster, which is why she's not super high on my favorites list for Generation 3. I still really like her. I love the sea motifs, like that dead Seahorse is super great because I love like skeleton things of things that should be cute, like skeleton unicorns and stuff like that. I'm very pastel goth. So I feel like that kind of shirt gives off that kind of vibe, so I really like that. And of course her pet is adorable. I love the G3 pets. I like the way that her leg does the shifting colors. I know mine has a couple of the chips on the back from the shelf, and I know that is something that a lot of people had issue with these ones, but as far as I know, and from what I can tell from my other ones, that has been fixed in future releases. This was one of the first dolls, so, you know, there are going to be some things that are growing pains. So, but yeah, overall, again, another really nice doll that I love having in my collection, but just there's some that I like a little bit more. So that was 8, so now we are on to 7, which is going to be Venus here. This doll, from, like, this doll is just amazing. I think she's so pretty. I love the braided side. I love the hair combo. It's just everywhere. I know people hate him, but I don't care. Julian is to die for to me. I love, love, love Julian. Look at him back there. He's so cute. And then she has her own backpack that's designed to hold him. Like, as you can see on a lot of my dolls, I don't know how much I showed you of the backs of them, but most of them I try and get their pets like backpacks just so that they can sit with them on the shelf and I don't have to worry about them falling, because whenever I have them sitting like holding them, they fall all the time. So I like to put them in their backpack, so the fact that she has one that's designed to hold him, obviously as you can see it's not super like perfectly fitted. He does flop around, so I have him rubber banded in, but still, like, I just think that's so cute. And I love the molding on her legs, just like how I did with Cleo. I'm just a sucker for the individual moldings to these dolls. It's one of the things that makes me love G3 so much, is that they all have different body types, and even if they don't have different body types, they all have unique pieces to them. Like, every one of these dolls has something unique about them. Again, from their height to, you know, their build, to their sculpting on their bodies. Like, it's just, each one is completely unique, and I think that's so amazing. There's just so many good details on this doll. So amazing. Then next up, just barely eking over her, is going to be Frankie. This one, again, is very much a personal thing more than anything else. I adore Frankie as a whole, like their character, their design. I love how they have they're non-binary, how they have, you know, the trans flag colors in them. I myself am not non-binary. However, I just really love the representation that they give to the community as a whole, and I think that they are just a stellar design. As you can tell, like, I also have their core refresh doll. Like, Frankie is the one doll that I have, or the one character that I have every single one of their dolls. They're the first one that I buy. I have duplicates of Frankie. I love them so very much. They are one of my most favorite in the Generation 3 collection. I am not non-binary, but in every other way I really relate very closely to Frankie, and I think they're just stunning. Above them is going to be Draculaura. The reason that Draculaura ekes out Frankie just a little bit is because this was the first one that we got that had the curvy body type, and she is shaped a lot like I am, which is kind of wide at the top, small in the middle, and then wider again at the bottom. And now she's a little bit more narrow at the top than I am. I have a little bit more of a chest, but otherwise it's a very similar body type, especially for the age range that these are supposed to be at. And I just think that she is stunning. I also am a huge fan of bright pink and also of black, and bright pink and black. Like, literally growing up, when people would be like, what's your favorite color? I'm like, bright pink and black, like, together. Like, that was one color to me, is this color palette. It's so adorable, and I love the little hearts on the shorts and these stockings and her shoes. Super cute. I actually have like 3 of this Draculaura. It's really funny. I accidentally ordered 3, and they all arrived around the same time because this is when they were first coming out. I wanted to make sure I got this doll, so I ordered her from 3 different places, and I was gonna cancel the other 2, but they all shipped at like the same time, so I ended up with 3 of her, which worked out because one day I was pushing my friend around in their wheelchair and I lost her shoes, so I was able to get a pair of shoes off of one of my duplicates. So I still have a full core doll, and then the other one is redressed in one of the outfits from Ultimate Secret sets. And then my other one is actually in box. For the core ghoulies from set, like the basic core dolls, I have a lot of them also in box, because as you can see, like, this Dracula's hair is in rough shape, but that's because I actually play with this doll. So I have one that's in box that I keep put away, so that even if I play with this one and I kind of, you know, like, look at her bangs, they're kind of sticking up all over the place. So even if I ruin her, I am confident that I have another one in a box that is in perfect condition. So it allows me to play and carry my dolls around without having to worry about if I can replace them or not. Now, granted, for a while they were easily and readily available, but we didn't know that was going to be the case, especially when G3 first came out. It was around the time that the first alumni dolls were coming out, and those were like impossible to find. Next up is going to be Miss Spectra. Spectra is, oh, I love the purple hair. Now, mine got a little weird with the way that they put her braid. I tried to loosen it up, but I've seen most of the people, it's like a circlet, right? For mine, it was like sitting like right here on the top. And all the ones that I saw in the store were sitting right on the top. So like, I don't know if it's like a batching thing or what, but I tried to lay it down a little bit. But other than that, I love her hair. Her pet, oh my god, she's so cute. And he can like stand on his own, and because he has this long tail, like the tail's all the way in the backpack, so you can't really see it, but it is so cute and such a unique like pet. It's not like a cat or a dog or anything. It's a ferret. Like, how cute is that? Her little ghost phone, her chains, and then of course I love the clear feet and hands. I love the shape of her face with these like super strong cheekbones. Everything about this doll is just stunning. She is definitely one of my newer hyperfixation dolls. When she came, like, from the second we got like images of her, I knew I needed to have her. I love Spectra. All right, we are now down to our top 3 dolls, which most of you, if you've been following me, probably will not be surprised by these, especially Twyla. So here's Twyla. Again, she has a lot of sentimental and personal value to me, which is part of why she always is right near the top. She is our openly autistic character, which I am also openly autistic, and so I really appreciate having that representation. I also love her design. I love her colors, from her purple to her teal. She has lots of course, beautiful hair and the bunny motifs everywhere. There's Dustin back here. Super cute. She was actually not part of the core collection. She was actually part of the sleepover collection, but she came with everything just like a core doll would, so I consider her to be core. She's also one of the first times that we got really good shoes again. The first wave of core dolls kind of had kind of basic shoes. They weren't like serving as much as like Generation 1 shoes were, but then when we got Twyla, she kind of reintroduced those like super detailed shoes. They're very specific to the character and had, you know, unique screenings on the bottom molded in. Like, she just kind of proved what Generation 3 could do, and I only think it's gotten better from here. So, but yeah, she has a very special place in my heart, and so she goes in 3rd. Now, this one might actually surprise you, because this doll has very consistently been my number 1, but currently Abby Abominable is number 2. I love her height. I love her proportions. I just think she's overall stunning. Right now her hair is up in a bun, because I did have her in the ballerina outfit for a while from the Skulltimate Secret line that she's in, because I just adore that one so much. I had to get that Abby right away, because again, Abby's my number 2 favorite. At the time was number 1 favorite, and so I also am a huge sucker for anything that's ice themed. That's just one of my super main motifs. especially because I've always liked it, but ever since I was a Frozen girly around 2013, which is also what my focus was on instead of Monster High, I just, I really love ice motifs, and I really love the proportions of this doll. This was our tallest doll for quite a while. I think she might still be the tallest. It's either her or Venus now, but yeah, they're just amazing. Everything about them is stunning. Of course, their hair fiber isn't the best, but other than that, no notes, There's our little Shiver. And if you've been following along, you will know now who is number one. Number one is going to be Caddy Noir. Now this is what I want to see in a cat girl, which is so funny that my last place is Toralei and then my first place is Caddy. They're both of the cat girls, but they are completely opposite, and to me that's, yeah, they're completely opposite. First of all, as I said, black and pink, that's a color combo I like, even though she has very much of a purple undertone to her black. It's not super dark, but it's still, she's a black cat in all bright pink. Like, she's a cat. She is the curviest body mold that we have seen so far. Like, she literally has rolls. Stunning. Never been done before. Hopefully will be done again. I love, love, love this doll. I love her boots. I love her makeup, her hair with the micro braids in it, how she has her own microphone. Just everything about this doll is just beautiful to me. 13 is my favorite number, and if her whole motif is 13, like, I just cannot get enough of Caddy. She is so, so, so beautiful. Everything about her is just stunning. There they are. All 15 of the core dolls that have been released so far. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this ranking. I know I enjoyed filming it. It was quite fun. It's the first time I've done this in a while, so I do hope that you enjoyed our time together as much as I did. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to know what your rankings are in the comments down below, at least your top 3 or your least favorite 3. We will see you also very soon in the next one. Bye!